FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. So, Matt, when people are thinking about starting a new business, especially a formula business, which is effectively what you are involved in, there's a formula for success, a way to do things to succeed. You know, there's 3 questions that they ask. Number 1 is, does it work? Number 2 is it easy? Or the converse is, how hard is it? Number 3 is, can I do it? Now, you've been training people on how to become successful Amazon marketers as well as online marketers now for quite a while. So you've addressed these issues time and time again, haven't you?
100%. And number 1, I mean, to talk about whether or not it works or not, you know, all you have to do is, if we're talking in this case, in this context about Amazon, just go on Amazon.com and type in any product you can think of, literally any product you can think of, and you're going to see that there are people selling that product on Amazon. And at the same time, when you do that, do yourself another favor and look and see where it says sold by. Does it say it's sold by Amazon, or does it say it's sold by XYZ company or some type of a brand that you've most likely never heard of? And the reason I point that out is because, you know, sometimes when you shop on Amazon, you'll see it says fulfilled by Amazon. And a lot of people think because it's fulfilled by Amazon that they're actually buying directly from Amazon. A lot of people still to this day do not know that when you're shopping on Amazon, you're buying by third-party sellers that are just like you and I. So does it work? 100% it works, because if it didn't work, how would Amazon be where they are today? Over 90% of their sales is through third-party sellers.
I never knew that. It's
not from Amazon.com.
I had no idea. I never knew that. And then you've also had people who you would the least likely to succeed in business. A woman who, say, has been a homemaker for 20-something years, raising kids, which, hey, in itself is a really difficult job. I take nothing away from it. But her first foray into business and hits a home run.
Yeah. So, I mean, for example, Carrie and Daniel Clark. Daniel was previously a real estate investor. Carrie was looking to do something from home, and she was looking for something she could do online, part-time, working a couple hours a day, something that she could rely on, that she knew would work. And her biggest thing was exactly that. Is this really going to work for me? Can I really do this? Seems like it's too good to be true kind of thing. And the bottom line is that on June 19th, today is the 22nd, on June 19th, she posted in the Facebook group, she said, "Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to finally announce that our product is live on Amazon. This has been a very long journey and learning experience that will be with us forever. I want to thank Matt and Mike for the podcast that led us here to their group. This is a family venture for us that I think will change our family forever. We're selling a silicone baby placemat called the Ellie Mat in honor of our baby granddaughter with CHD, congenital heart disease defect. The screenshot above with the sales since 8 Thursday evening, our first 24 hours, we had approximately 150 sales and $3,200 in gross sales." Then she put in capital letters, "Oh yeah, baby." She said, "Now we are following all the steps to keep the momentum going. We'll have vouchers available soon. Thank you and best of luck to everyone." And guys, you might not know what that means, vouchers, at this point. Some of you listening may know what that's about. But what this means is she got 150 sales in 24 hours, and she hasn't even given out vouchers yet. Those are organic sales. And in the screenshot, you could even see her balance, and her balance is at 1,700. So it's over a 50% margin on the product. And she posted the proof of the product, and I literally just read verbatim what she posted. And again, the reason I share is because she's never done this before, never made a penny online, never made money on Amazon, never sourced a product in China, never private labeled, never had done anything like this before, didn't think it was possible, thought it was too good to be true. She's like, you know, I listen to a podcast. Now I'm talking to you. My husband thinks I'm crazy. You know, she's like, and he's willing to invest. I even remember she said, he invested like 10 or 15 grand in some real estate course. And she's like, and if to him, if he sees the value, he'll do it. She's like, but these are people that are well known. She's like, we just heard your podcast kind of thing. And she was really, but she had faith and she took action, and that's what she ended up doing. And she had no experience whatsoever. And that's just one example of many stories that we now have in the Facebook group after now coaching people for the last 13 months just on specifically Amazon. Online marketing, it's 8 years nearly now, but just specifically in the Amazon niche, it's been 13 months. And in our group, we have nearly 600 members and just a ton of success stories. And they come in every single day now. So we already know that it works. That's not really a question. If it didn't work, you have to ask yourself, would Amazon.com exist if the business model did not work? I mean, if you don't think it works, and in a nice way, you're crazy, so.
And then the second question is it easy, or how hard is it?
So it depends what you call easy. Like, I don't think waking up in the morning at 9 o'clock and working in an office till 5 o'clock every day and doing that for your whole life, to me, I don't think that's easy. I don't think if you have a family and you have kids, going to work and being away from your family all day is easy. So I don't know it depends what someone considers easy, but it's definitely something anyone can do. Even if I can do it, a lot of you may not know my complete background, but it wasn't that long ago. Now it's been almost a decade now, so it has been quite a while, but where I had nothing, you know what I mean? I was flat broke, sleeping on my brother's apartment room floor, didn't have credit, didn't have a lot of resources, and I found a way out. And it wasn't through this business model. It was through a lot harder means online and through affiliate marketing and having to have a lot of technical knowledge, building websites and sales funnels and having to understand how to do all these types of marketing strategies that cost a lot of money. With Amazon, it's completely different, because when you're selling on Amazon, number one, people trust Amazon.com. They know when they buy on Amazon.com that if they're not happy, that Amazon has 100% satisfaction guaranteed. They know they can get their money back. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that once you understand how private labeling works, it's literally this simple. You find and you might say, I don't know how to find a manufacturer. And I'd encourage you to go back and listen to some of the other podcasts. But once you find a manufacturer that, let's say, for example, manufactures electric candles, let's just say, when you contact them and they tell you, okay, I could produce 5,000 of them for $1.50 a piece, to private label it, you're simply saying, I would like to put my logo on the packaging for this product or my design. And you can go to a site like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com, and you could pay someone $50, $100 to do your design for you. You send that design to them, and now you have a private labeled product. So anyone can do that. It's not something that requires technical skill. It's not something that requires a lot of knowledge, experience. Anyone can go out there, go to Alibaba.com, find a manufacturer. Anyone can go to Fiverr.com, find a designer, and get a logo. Anyone can then take that logo and send it to the manufacturer, right? And right. Just to play devil's advocate, like, is there anything I said there that was confusing, or did that make sense?
No, it was all pretty clear. It's pretty easy, but you have to follow the steps. Like any other plan, you got to plan to succeed. It doesn't just happen. And you can't say, I'm going to just do a product and then boom, do your product. There's a lot of work that goes into it as well. And that's where the next question comes in. Can I do it? If you're listening, can you do it? How hard it is. And really, you need to go over to take a look at the site, amazonsecrets.net. And there's a lot of free info on there. But Matt, can I do it? How hard is it to do? We know that, and we know it works. But now what can I do? Right? If you're
listening to the show, you have to ask yourself, what is the difference between me and Matt Behdjou or Kerry Lutz or Mike Gazzola or Kerry Clark or Wyatt Nowak or Roy Lahani or Damon Smith or Monica Burgess, all these different people that have results? What is the difference between me and those people that are getting the results they're getting? What's the difference between me and the people making $1,000 a day? And if you really think about it, you'll realize the answer is the only difference between you and the people that are getting the results they want to get online, and specifically making money on Amazon, is the knowledge. They know exactly what to do, and that's it. And so if you have a proven step-by-step process and you know exactly what to do, if step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, then you have to ask yourself, if someone who is making, $10,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever dollar amount you're looking to achieve on Amazon, if they're making that much money on Amazon, and if they tell me everything, if they give me everything they've got, can I do it? Then you'll know the answer to whether or not you can do this too. If it's something more than the knowledge holding you back, then you definitely can't do it. Some people might say, I don't have enough time to do it because I'm working, 40 hours a week. I'm married. I have kids. I have this responsibility, that responsibility, and I don't have time. And when I hear that, I'll say, okay, well, how much are you generating from that job that's taken 40 hours a week? And they'll say, I'm generating 80 grand a year. Okay, 80 grand a year. If you could make 80 grand a year on Amazon working 10 hours a week, would you do it? And they say, of course I would do it.
Yeah.
And then they say, why aren't you doing it then? They say, well, I don't know how. So it's not because you don't have time then. It's because you don't have the knowledge. Same thing. They might say, well, I don't have a lot of resources. I think you need a lot of money to do this. And it's the same thing. If you knew how to make $10,000 a month on Amazon, you wouldn't have a money problem. The reason you have a money problem is because you have a knowledge problem, right? So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. And a lot of people might say, well, yeah, that's true, but I want to get started and I only have, $3,000, $4,000 cash. How can I get started building this business? And what we always encourage people to do, and that's the thing with this business, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It is not for everybody. This business does take resources to build the business, but at the same time, it does not take a ton of resources. And if you don't have a lot of money, but let's say you have really good credit, you can build a massively successful business in the next 90 to 120 days, 180 days max, 6 months pretty much. It's very realistic. And the way you do it is a strategy called OPM, other people's money. And I talk about this all the time when I've done one-on-one consultations. And a perfect example is when if you have a job out there, or even if you own your own business, you're self-employed, whatever the case is, when you get your money from your customers and you take that money to the bank, they don't take your money and put a red bow around it and lock it up in a vault.
Yeah.
What do they do with your money?
Well, obviously, the bank isn't just keeping it in a lockbox just for you. They're loaning it out and making money on your money, That's right. And so the banks, they take our money. And so what we like to teach people to do is how to play the same game the banks do, where they take our money and they make money with it. What if you could flip the script on the bank? What if you could take the bank's money and make money on their money and pay them virtually no interest? Just like, because again, that's the second part. When our money's in the bank, how much interest do they pay us when it sits in a checking or savings account? Nothing. Right. Yeah. And so you might say, well, how can I do that? And a lot of you listening have the power to do this. But the problem is most people, and I'll tell you what the tool is now. It's called Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. It's called a credit card. And most people use credit cards. What do they use it for? They use it for consumer debt. They use it for food, bills. They use it for things that do not make them money. If you're in credit card debt right now, write down that number of how much debt you're in and ask yourself, how much money is that debt making me every month? If you're in $5,000 debt, how much money is that debt making you every month? The answer is probably zero. You're probably paying a $500 or $1,000 minimum payment every month instead of earning a return on that money. But what if you didn't pile up all that consumer debt? What if you use that $5,000 and you launched a product and you put it on Amazon and you turn that $5,000 into 10 or 15 grand in 3 or 4 months, or even in 6 months? Even if it took you a year, which is crazy if it takes you that long, but even if it took a year for you to double your money, that's a lot better than consumer debt that makes you no money and you end up paying 20% interest on it. It's much better to use the bank's money to make you money and then take the profit you make from the business to pay the bank back. And that's what the banks do with our money. We put our money in the bank, they invest it, they make money with it,
when we go and take our money out of the bank, they're giving us back our money with the profit they already made on our money. And you can do the same exact thing. And so, again, if you don't have a lot of cash resources, that's how you can come up with other people's money, but you need to have good credit. If you don't have good credit and you have no money, then I hate to say this to you, but you can't build this business. You got to find someone that you could partner with that has the resources, or it's not going to work. And ideally, you want to have $3,000 to $5,000, but technically you could start with $1,000, but you might, what are you going to do? You'll turn 1,000 into 1,500, turn 1,500 into 3,000. Right. And you're going to build it much slower, but you could start with a very little amount of money. You could technically start with $300. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to do this the right way and you want to build a solid business, you want to start with at least $3,000 to be a good starting point, number one. But that's not as important as the second part of the equation, which is reinvesting all of your profit right back into the business. If you do that, absolutely, within 6 months, you can have a huge business.
Yeah, and you've done it. And how many students you have that have done it as well. It can be done. That's the amazing thing. So you basically answer all three of those questions in the affirmative. And then the only other thing you need to do is just go over to amazonsecrets.net. Everything you need to know is there. If you want to turbocharge your business and really, really put it on steroids, really get the returns quickly and massively, there's other options that are available to you there. You can apply. The only thing keeping you from succeeding is you at this point, because now you know about what maybe hundreds of thousands of people, Matt, are doing. They're all doing this, right?
100%. I mean, I'm not sure the exact number of sellers now on Amazon, but it's definitely hundreds of thousands, and it's only going to increase. They have not hit their market cap yet, and they're not going to hit their market cap on their own. They're going to grow with sellers like you and I, and potentially you out there listening. And again, there's one thing you could take away from this whole entire podcast. It's that the only reason why you're not generating six figures on Amazon or 50 grand a year, whatever your goal may be, maybe you want to do $500,000 a year. I don't know what that number is for you, but the only reason you're not doing it is because you do not know how to do it. If you knew what to do, you would be doing it. And so if you want to learn what to do and how to do it, go to amazonsecrets.net and make sure that you don't just enter your name and email to download our free video report. Apply for our inner circle, because if you get accepted into the inner circle, which it is by application only, there's absolutely no buy button anywhere. There's nothing for sale on the website, and you'll see that when you get there. So you could put your credit card away, you could put your wallet away. There's absolutely nothing for you to buy when you get to the website, but you can apply for the coaching. And if you do get into the inner circle, we have a great Facebook community where you can connect with the other students that are massively successful, but we're going to fill that gap and give you the knowledge you need so that you can get from where you are to where you want to be. And if we work together, Mike and I give you everything we've got. There is absolutely no stone unturned. We hold your hand step by step, move by move. We give you our connections, our team in China, all of our marketing resources, all of the tools that we use to rank videos on Google, on YouTube, everything we do to build a business online, not just from the Amazon perspective, but marketing in general. If you want to learn how to market any business, not just Amazon, this information is going to help you tremendously. So go to amazonsecrets.net and we will help give you the knowledge you need to get from where you are to where you want to be.
So amazonsecrets.net. Matt, we will talk to you again real soon.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.